All right, welcome everybody to our Black Falls Iron Ridge Collective Google Meet, our first one of the 2026 year. We're happy to have a few guests here with us today. I am Lacey Elliott, the principal of the Intermediate Campus, and I will be moderating in place of Carol Jean-Baptiste, who usually does this job. I'm going to share some slides with everybody, and we are going to get into the meeting. So what we do is we just do a quick run through of what's going on at each of our Black Falls schools, and then following that we are going to hear from Laura Swanson, who is joining us today from CASA. I will begin by passing this over to Caitlin Fessick, who is here on behalf of Iron Ridge Elementary Campus to get us started.
Hello, I also think Vicky's here too. So Vicky, do you want to go or I can go? It's up to you. Welcome. It's been a great start to the new year. We're 2 days in and it's been great to have everybody back in the building. We have lots of highlights from December that we would love to share. I think we previously shared that we were part of the Cilantro and Chives ice cream fundraiser, and we found out the total of that, which was $692. So that was a lot of fun, and we're really happy to have partnered with them. And that will go towards, we're fundraising for an outdoor classroom right now. So most of the funds that we raise will go towards that. We had an IREC Christmas market, which was wonderful. It was like the white elephant sale, and we brought in a ton of goods, and we raised over $1,000. I think it was $1,058 for Beyond Food Hub Food Bank. So that was fantastic that our community really came together to support them. Christmas concerts were amazing. A huge thank you to Ms. Holdlock for her work in organizing them. They were a ton of fun, and we had 5 concerts in 4 days, and so we were a really busy place and had the gym was full. And along with that, our Fires fundraising group did a front row seat silent auction during our parent-teacher interviews. And so some families bid on having the front row seats, and that raised over $1,000 for our outdoor classroom as well. So that was wonderful. Thank you to everyone that participated in that. Our RTI is starting up this month, so all students in all grades will be in groups to help build their skills in different areas depending on what their needs are. We also have SLP that works in-house with us, Janice Wilk, and she is going to have a practicum student that will start at our school Mondays and Fridays. So we have some extra speech work that an extra person that can help our students one-on-one and in groups with speech. So we're really looking forward to welcoming her in the new year. She'll start next week, so next Monday and next Friday. Mr. Hamel's class won our snack attack for the month of December. So all students, we encourage them bringing healthy snacks from the Canada Food Guide and food groups. So every class totals their points, and they will get breakfast with the Bulldogs coming up here in the next few weeks to celebrate that. So that's kind of a recap of our December. Upcoming, we're looking forward to our government assessments are beginning on the 16th. So that will happen for a few weeks in classrooms. January 29th, we have a Jersey Day and Extreme Assembly coming up. And on the 27th, we are doing Family Literacy Day. So we'll be looking for guest readers. If you'd like to come and read in your child's classroom for Family Literacy Day, we are welcoming family members, guests, community members to come in and read in our school that day, to build just a love of reading, and have just a different reader in is always exciting for the kiddos when they have somebody new come in to read to them. January 30th is a PD day, so there is no school for students that day. February 13th, right before our winter break, we have a Wear What You Love Day. So you can wear anything that you love, or your favorite outfit, or your favorite things, anything that you love that kind of brings you joy, you can wear that day for our dress up day, spirit day for that month. Parents, also please make sure that you are able to log into Power School to see current grades and assignments. Towards the end of the month, beginning of February, will be when formal assessments are in there. So just make sure you can log in and you have access to that. And that's kind of a recap in a nutshell.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Fessick. And welcome, Mrs. Celine. I'm sorry that I didn't see you there initially. I'm not having the brightest light bulb day over here. I've already screwed up once, so it's just my day. And that brings us now to my slide. And so I will talk a little bit about Iron Ridge Intermediate Campus and what we have going on here. We are also resuming our interventions block every single day. We kind of put it on hold to recoup some of our instructional time after the strike. And but we are launching back in. It's something that we've been doing for several years that is just so important in student success here. Every grade team designs intervention sessions at all levels of achievement. So we would like for our kids that need extension to get that during that time as well as the kids who are struggling, who are just needing some extra attention and extra skill building to get that help. So those sessions are run by the grade teams and they change every 4 to 6 weeks usually. There's different groupings, and so your child might be bouncing into another teacher's classroom every day right after lunch for 40 minutes of some targeted instruction in one area that their teachers have determined is going to be a good fit for them. It's really important time, so it's really important for our kids to be here to get to the benefits of it, and we're really excited to get that back up and running. I wanted to just take a minute and just put a kind of call out there for attendance. We are at that midpoint in the year, and I know that sometimes things just kind of sneak up on us, and have a look in your Power School, parents, and just have a look at where your kids are at for their attendance totals. It's pretty amazing how quickly that will add up, and we know that things happen. Illness happens, and heavens, we had so much illness in December. But we're really just wanting to get parents on board with making sure kids are here every single day. And if you're struggling to get your child out the door, if they're showing some resistance to coming to school, please reach out to me or Mrs. Jean-Baptiste. We'd be so happy to help you get them back on track, because those days add up and those gaps get really big, and it's really difficult to get kids back on track. So that's kind of just a little ask from us here at this school. It's just important to be here. And then this time of year, we always like to ask families to look for ways to build some healthy connection time in. And it can be really tempting and easy to fall into some excessive screen time habits in the cold winter months. And so just kind of a little nudge for people to look for other activities like board games and card games, and just opening up an informal conversation with your child at the table with devices out of sight, out of mind. Just to keep everybody connected and regulated. Getting outside on the days when it's nice enough to do so, and skating or going snowshoeing or whatever it is your family loves to do together. We really just want to push and request that families try to lean into that, those healthy screen time limits at home, because it certainly makes a difference on the mental health of students, but also their ability to focus in their classes when they're here. And just another reminder, as a parent, I know we get busy and we get just kind of bogged down with the business of having kids, but it is really important to just check in with your kids and what they're doing online. Every once in a while, kids will say, oh, there's this group chat and this is happening and that's happening. So just ask them, what are you doing? What sites are you on? What social media are you using? And just monitor that, because sometimes there's big things going on and they don't always know who to reach out to or how to do it. We do try to teach them to do that, but sometimes it's just kind of flying under the radar. So a little reminder for parents to do that as we head into these winter months where, again, our screen time tends to be a little bit more because of the weather. And that is really all that I have for January. So with that, I will turn it over to Nicole Rawlinson.
Thanks, Lacey. And I just have to say, I absolutely echo all of your encouragement for parents to, check on the attendance and contact the school if you're struggling, and all those healthy habits. So thank you for bringing that up. I think that applies to all of our schools and all of our students for sure. So I want to start by recapping what a great and busy month of December we had, and it all came to kind of a big finale on our last day before the holidays, where we had our second annual entire school Christmas brunch. And this was our second year, and we learned a few things from last year, and it couldn't have gone better this year. 270 students and staff and parents all together in the gym to enjoy a delicious meal that parent volunteers prepared for us. It was just such a great celebration of the end of the calendar year and heading off to the holidays. So we really appreciate all the parents that took time out to help us prepare for that. Just some upcoming dates, and our newsletter was published out to parents today, so everything is in our newsletter. But just a reminder that term 1 will end on January 29th, which means we will have midterms just for language arts and math taking place on January 20th and 22nd. And then we will have digital report cards that are available on the 29th as well. So all of that information is in our January newsletter. So please take a moment to read through that. And if you have any questions, please contact the office or your child's teacher. We're also going to be gearing up for our 3rd quarter of options. And so students will be signing up for that next week. Next Friday. So please take time to look at our website next week to see what the new menu of option choices there are and help your child to select something that will be exciting to them. We're also looking forward to, on January 29th, we have a very special presentation from the Central Alberta Child Advocacy Centre with a focus on online safety, which we all know, and as per Mrs. Elliott's message earlier, just essential in this world of digital, the digital world and the access that all of our kids have, and how important it is that we are being, proactive and responsive in making sure that our kids know how to navigate that world. So it'll go through a number of topics that are listed here, including just for kids to understand about the different techniques that are out there for grooming, understanding, how to navigate that world of AI, and the risks that might be lurking out there in terms of, that isolating and sextortion and the mental health impact on our kids too. So that's going to be a really important presentation that will happen for each of our grades separately. I also wanted to mention, it's not on my slide here, but we are so grateful to the Family Resource Network that is located out of Lacombe, but they do service our families here in Blackfalds. Hannah from the FRN has been with us every Monday, and she comes to provide a lunchtime connect time for our kids. It is a time when kids can spend together connecting with other kids and usually doing something pretty hands-on and fun, and it does not include having their devices with them. So we have been really enjoying that, as well as our school social worker, Mrs. Frolic. Every Friday, she offers the same lunch connect time for our kids. And we just find that sometimes our kids are sort of losing their way and looking for some people that maybe are a new connection for them. So these are some great opportunities for those kids too. As well, looking ahead to February, we will be counting down the days until February 13th, which is our annual Wellness Day. And this day is kind of broken up into 2 big events. One is the Wellness Day, which is like a conference style event here at the school. And for kids who aren't participating in that, who might be heading to Canyon to do skiing and snowboarding for the day. So it's an entire day based on, or focusing on our wellness and our well-being, and just provides a great chance for kids to enjoy the day together. So more information will be coming out on that. The newsletter does have a little bit in there for you, but we are also looking for parent volunteers to help us, especially with that trip to Canyon Resort. So if you're interested, please give us a call. And yeah, we're looking forward to a great 2026. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Rollinson. Sounds like a lot of fun. I'm always envious of your wellness day and the ski trip, but alas, we aren't yet there here. All right, we have Joe McKay joining us from Iron Ridge Secondary Campus, and I'll turn it over to him.
Perfect, thanks. Yeah, January is always a busy one for us, just wrapping up our first semester here. Not the traditional setting, just with the strike and the provincial government canceling our PATs and our diploma exams. We do still have finals and midterms for our 9s, 10s, and 11s. Our 12s will just do a in-class final unit test, just to make sure that we get all of those critical concepts on as they move on to post-secondary. Exciting news, we have a grad date for our first ever one on Friday, June 26th. Our grads have done an amazing job at raising just over $4,500. So that's great. I know that they have many awesome activities planned further to get some more funds in. Our basketball season is in full swing. As we grow, we have the ability to offer a JV boys team at the high school level, which is pretty exciting. As many of you know, that the Abbey Center brings out a lot of great basketball players in this town, so it's nice that we give them the opportunity to play high school sports here. With basketball on the mind, tonight is our Cree Jersey night to honor the Treaty 6 land that we are on. Tip-off is at 6 for the girls, and then the boys to follow with a short presentation at 5:45. January 19th, we're looking at our grade 9 options for quarter 3. So that'll be another selection form similar to quarter 1 and quarter 2. Please make sure that those are filled out just so that you do get an option of your choice. January 23rd is the last day of classes for our grade 10s to 12s. On our website, we have our exam schedule posted there. Please make sure to check that and check it often, just as there might be the odd tweak as we go. January 26th to 28th is the exam break. So 10 to 12s do not have a traditional class, but our 9s will still be in our regular classes. And then be writing either a midterm for numeracy and literacy courses, and then a final for social and science. On those days, January 30th is a professional development day for us as we get ready for a quick turnaround for the start of semester 2, February 2nd. So yeah, nothing crazy exciting, just a lot of wrapping up and exams as we close off semester 1 here.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. We appreciate the update there. It's hard to believe we're halfway through the year. And now maybe I'll just turn it over quickly to Nicole Rollinson to introduce our special guest this month and kind of the thinking behind why we brought them to the collective.
Sure. So we are really excited to welcome Laura Swanson with us today. Laura works for CASA Classroom, which I know she's going to explain what that's all about. But this year, Wolf Creek is piloting our first ever CASA program, which is housed out of Lacombe Junior High, but is accessible to all Wolf Creek schools. And I know Laura will go through things in detail, but it is a very valuable program, something that we see the need growing more and more. That is a program that is really specialized and focused and tailored to supporting students and their mental health. So I will turn it over to Laura. Thank you for joining us, Laura.
You're so welcome, and thank you for having me today. As Nicole said, my name is Laura Swanson, and I'm a program education lead with CASA Mental Health, and I do work specifically with classrooms. My background, though, is education. I have been in education for 28 years, 23 of them as a school-based administrator, and then also as a director of human resources for Battle River School Division. And so it is my passion is education, and bringing education and mental health together, I think is just a really great thing. So I will just give you a brief overview. There's so much I could talk about, but I want to also be cognizant of everyone's time. So I will just give you a brief overview of CASA and the programming. And then if anyone has questions after this, please feel free to always reach out. So CASA is a nonprofit.
Laura, I'm just gonna interject and let you know that I'm running your slides. So if at any time the slide needs to be moved, like switched on the screen for the viewers, and I haven't done it, I haven't kind of caught on, then just let me know and I'll click ahead for you.
Awesome. Thank you. You'll probably figure out. I'm just going to go through, but I appreciate that, Lacey. Thank you. So we are a nonprofit organization that has been around since 1988, serving students in age 3 to 18. A lot of people are familiar with CASA Day programs, and CASA House and CASA Classrooms are brand new. However, the mission, the vision, and the values are really fundamental for all of those areas of programming. So the mission of CASA is to build resilience through holistic, evidence-informed, and compassionate care, and to advocate for children, youth, and families with mental illness. The vision is to have a community where all children, youth, and families are provided with timely mental health care and empowered to thrive. And our values are that we are community-minded, child-centered, and family-inclusive, collaborative. We believe in equity, diversity, and inclusion, and we have outcomes-based accountability. All of these values are often many things that you would probably see in your schools. So it's a great fit when it comes to CASA Classrooms. So CASA Classrooms, really the foundation of this is where we have mental health services coming to the place that the kids are. So parents and caregivers are not needing to schedule appointments, taking time off work, because the things that the families and the child needs is built into their lives, specifically at school. So the students that we really aim to work with are what we call the missing middle. And I think we often think of those kids who are the high flyers, or those kids that we know that you know, so many services are already involved. Maybe there's already things like police involvement, but the missing middle are often those students that sometimes, like, they're just not coming to school, but we don't really know why. We're not sure, you know, what is going on with them. We recognize there are some issues, but we just don't always you know, provide those services that those students need. And that is sort of the group that CASA really targets, is what we like to call the missing middle. So CASA Mental Health has partnered with many school divisions across the province. In fact, right now we have 25 classrooms, 26 is opening up in February, 27 will be opening up in September, and we do serve students through grades 4 to 12. However, I would say the primary focus of our students are probably grade 6 to 9 age. We have a few high schools and a few classrooms that are much more elementary based, but grade 6 to 9 is typically where we see a lot of our students. And I know in Wolf Creek, one of the things they are really focused on is recommending students or referring students grades 4 through 9. And so we work with them to look at building cohorts based on those grade levels. So what do we provide? We do a comprehensive mental health assessment. We provide individual treatment plans for each student. We have individual and group therapy with a registered mental health therapist. We have physician consultation, including medication review and management. And we also have a nurse that works with each classroom. We have individualized academic instruction. We have caregiver and guardian psychoeducation and targeted group programming, where all of our parents come together weekly in a parent group as well. They have access to our therapy support navigator. There is a transition process that we use that has purposeful tapering and transition back to the home classroom and medical provider, and capacity building within the school division staff and the teachers that the students would be returning to. So what does our program look like in length? Well, it is based on a school semester. So our cohorts either begin in September or February following the school calendar. One semester, we have the students in the classroom, and then the second semester, we actually end up having the students back in the school, but they still have access to CASA supports. Parents are given a 10-week program that they go through when their children are in the classroom, so that they can also support the treatment of their child. And we do have a caregiver handbook that is available on our CASA website for anybody to access at any time. So as I mentioned, our target population is children in grades 4 through 12, but especially in Wolf Creek, I know they have sort of suggested to administrators, we're looking at students in grades 4 through 9. And they would have one or more confirmed or suspected mental health diagnoses. So they've accessed previous school or community-based interventions provided by a mental health professional, but maybe still have some persistent symptoms that are impacting home, peer, and school life. They do not require inpatient care. If we felt that they needed that, they would be referred to CASA House. They currently are under the care of a physician or a nurse practitioner, or would be willing to be connected to one. They're functionally capable of participating in and understanding concepts taught in programming. So they would have a full scale IQ over 80. Just because we don't have EA or additional supports if a student was unable to do the material on their own. And they have a caregiver or guardian who is willing to participate in the group therapy as well. Like, we really want parents to be on board, and they are even part of the referral process, which I'll talk about in a bit. So consideration criteria. These criteria are intended to ensure the safe delivery of treatment within a non-secure school environment. So things that we consider are ADHD, active addiction and or substance use, autism diagnosis, and have not previously accessed mental health services provided by a registered mental health professional. So those are just all things that we consider as we're looking at if the student would be a good fit for our program, and with the other students that are being selected for the cohort as well. Exclusion criteria, I know, which is a strange word to use in an educational setting. However, the reason behind the word exclusion is there are things that we do have to consider to ensure safe delivery for students. So there are some cases where we just know that a student wouldn't meet the referral requirements. So as you can see, for example, there's active psychosis, or they are acute suicidality. So they might have a plan and they're planning to commit suicide. They have an acute eating disorder. There is severe aggression or history of acute violence. The caregiver or guardian is really not willing to participate in any way in the programming. And then again, the IQ being less than 80. And they're just things that we need to consider for the safety of all students, and that we can also provide the programming necessary for the other students as well as, you know, that child. So what do we have in the classroom? We have a teacher who is provided by the school division. So we have a Wolf Creek teacher in our classroom right now in Lacombe. Then we have a mental health therapist and a therapy support assistant. They are there all day, every day. So we have a team of 3 that are always at the school working with the students. Then we have wraparound services. So we have a therapy support navigator, and her responsibility is working primarily with the families. We have a mental health nurse as well. Both of those positions go into the classroom on a weekly basis, and the nurse also provides group teaching as well for the students with a broad range of topics. They might teach on hygiene one week, addictions one week, all types of different topics that are fitting for a nurse. There is a physician where possible, and then we have a program supervisor and a program education lead. So that would be my role, and then the supervisor is a clinician. They have a clinical side. And then we have access to a psychologist, OT, speech and language, and a multicultural family resource consultant as needed. So what is the referral package? We get 1 referral from the school, and we also get a referral from the parents. And once we have those filled in and submitted, they go through an intake process where the mental health therapist and the TSN meet with the family and the child, and they interview them both. And if it is decided that they are a good fit and they fit the cohort, so sometimes, for example, we might have students who are referred from grades 4 through 9. Well, we can't have a classroom with 6 grades in it. So we sort of look at where is the good fit for the classroom. So maybe it's grade 6 to 8 is where the bulk of them are, and that's a good fit to work together. Or maybe it's grade 4 to 7, or maybe it's grade 6 to 9. And so we look at all of the students and make those decisions based on that. And sometimes we end up learning information through the parent interview that maybe didn't make it onto the referral form, and that too can end up influencing if that child is actually eligible potentially for the cohort or not. And then we do a tapered transition back to class. So we work with the schools that the students came out from, and invite maybe the administrators to come to the school. We have the students emailing back to their home school to make a connection with an adult in the building. And we do try to work to get the students back in some capacity to the school prior to their start date, so that they just feel connected and are welcomed back. And that's sort of the bulk of the presentation. A couple of things I will let you know. We do have classrooms. The capacity is up to 12 students. We don't always have 12 students. It really truly depends on referrals. Due to the strike, we definitely had some timing issues in getting referrals. So we are actually still allowing referrals right now. So parents and school administrators, if you do have students right now that you think would be potentially a good fit for a CASA classroom, feel free to submit for this February. We know right now we do have some spaces potentially open. So if you're thinking and you're listening to this thinking, oh, I know of a student who might be a potential great fit, please complete that referral form. Talk to the parent about completing it because there is time to have that considered. I also totally recommend checking out the CASA Mental Health website. There is so much information on there, whether it's about classrooms or just other programs that CASA Mental Health does. I really encourage you to check it out. There's so many amazing things there. And I don't know if anyone has any questions, but I'm free to take a question if you have one.
Thank you so much for that information, Laura. It's been a really lovely thing to have the classroom opening in Wolf Creek. And I know that, we're all still navigating the processes, but it's a relief to know we have a place like this with such great programming for kids in need. Are there any questions for Laura? No? Any questions?
If there ever are, just reach out, send me an email or, reach out to CASA and someone will get back to you. We are happy to take questions at any point in time.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'll just open it up. Are there any questions for any of the administrators that are here today? Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to stop the recording, I think, if I can remember where that is. There it is.